guys, I feel like we are legit at manifesting Vogue today. Woo! I'm so excited for today's video. I have been planning to make a video like this forever, it feels like. And again, I feel like I am manifesting Vogue. Like right now it's, hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, but one day it's gonna be, hey Vogue. I just know it, I feel it in my bones. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like,
girl, Vogue, you're delusional.
I 100% agree. I'm a very delusional person. And let me tell you something else. Being a delusional person has gotten me the success I have today, and it's gotten me basically everything I've ever wanted and will land me so much more. So yes, here's to being delusional, here's to manifesting, here's to dreaming big, and here's to get ready with me and updated every day makeup tutorials, because that's what we're gonna do. The first thing I'm gonna do is my skincare. I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through what I do every single day. I don't do a lot in the mornings. I do way more at night. But in the mornings, I keep it kind of chill just because my skin is sensitive. It's oily combo. There's dry patches. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I always start with an essence. I always need an essence on my face the second I get out of the shower. I have been using this Shea brand Rose Natural Astringent. This has witch hazel in it. I love to use this as my toner as well because I love witch hazel. I also really like the scent, has a very nice rose scent to it. And then I go in with my serum. I have been adoring the Dose of Wisdom serum. It is from Philosophy. Pop on my eye cream. This one is from Fenty and she's a whole baddie, let me tell you. I love her so much. She's like thickums, but at the same time super lightweight, like you don't feel it under the eyes, but it is so moisturizing and so rich that I know my eyes are just like yum, 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 yum. I love it so much. I'm pretty purely obsessed with this stuff. Gonna turn on my sassy little wand. Judge all you want, guys. It works. It works. Moisturizer. Moisturizer switches every single day depending on what my skin needs because I have plenty of moisturizers, but I have really been loving this Peach and Lily moisturizer. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's the fact that it's like more of a liquid moisturizer that I feel like it really seeps into my skin, and it is so cold today. It is so dry out. Like my skin literally feels like it just needs water, so that's why I'm going for a more water-based moisturizer. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit, and I'm going to do my hair. My hair, depending on like if I curled it for the week, if I straightened it for the week, if I blew it out for the week, that determines like what I'm going to do to it. I did my at-home blowout yesterday and I really like how it turned out. It's giving 90s Jennifer Aniston and I love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and basically just keep the volume up, and I'm going to put some rollers in my hair, and I'm gonna show you guys how I have been doing that. I'm gonna go in with my Amica. This is the thermal heat rolling brush. I'm actually not sure like the name of it, but it's on Amica. It's linked down below if you guys are interested in checking this out. It's awesome. It's like 99 bucks and it's so ridiculously worth it. I'm gonna plug her in and let her heat up. And while I do that, I'm actually gonna brush my hair and kind of like prepare my rollers. Look at that volume. My dad was like, you look like one of the Munsters. And I cried. Tears of joy. There's no comment that I've gotten that I've been compared to that I've been like, ew. I've been compared to Pat Benatar, a queen. I've been compared to Freddie Mercury, my idol. Honestly, I'm okay. Oh, Los Bukis, literally iconic. You can't offend this, you cannot. Let's start putting our top layer into these rollers. I will say I'm getting so much better at like styling my shag, guys. The thing is, shags are so easy to style. And that was one of the reasons that I was like smitten and really wanted to try this hairstyle and why I wanted to shag it up. Like, yeah, I wanted to do it because Rihanna did it. But also I wanted to do it because of the ease of it, because it's so choppy and like the whole point of it is it's a messy look. I had to try it and it's literally like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Amica thermal brush. I'm going to just basically heat up my hair with this guy. And I like to do it a couple times until my hair is pretty warm. Then I grab my little roller and I just plop it on like that. It's literally that easy. I feel like I only ever really do 2 to 3 rollers up top, like up here. I don't really do much. let's move on to these bangs. So I have been really enjoying doing my bangs forward. The first few times I did my hair like this, I followed like the way that I rolled the hair back here, and I was not a fan of the way my bangs turned out. I think the length makes it a little awkward still, so I really like putting my bangs forward. So that's the only difference that I do with my bangs, is I pull it forward. But I like to really heat them up, and I try to get every single strand as hot as possible. Well, without like burning my hair, but I try to get every strand as hot as I possibly can. And then I'll use a smaller roller like so. And then I just roll inwards. And that's that. Pretty much all I do to my hair until I style it, like once I'm done with my makeup, and that's how I ensure that with hot rollers. Once I do my brows, this is completely optional, but I cannot skip this step. Like, I've tried, and I know this is just not the thing to do anymore since full glam is not really like the thing these days, just because I love the look of a clean, like bottom, like crisp line on the brow, and I love a fluffier brow up top, like looking crazy, scraggly, rebellious, if you will. So I always grab a lighter concealer because I also like it to be like highlighted under my brow, like on my brow bone, and I don't like it to like necessarily like blend into my face. So I always go in with like a small concealer brush, and I will carve my brow, but just on the bottom. You see how much better that looks like overall. Plus, when I do this, I feel like I could see like the mistakes that I made in the brow while filling them in, or like if I went a little bit too overboard. So what I do now is I grab a Q-tip, and this might be a little gross for some of you guys, but I don't care. It's me, myself, and I get it literally just a little bit wet, and I clean up wherever like some powder kind of jumped out, or like if I see something a little out of line, I just rub it off literally with the Q-tip. But anyways, from here, I like to grab a damp beauty sponge. I'm gonna use this one from Wet n Wild, and then I just like to blend down the concealer. That way the concealer doesn't look so harsh, but also the concealer kind of serves as eyeshadow base because it cancels out like all my veins, all my discoloration, all those things. And now that I have like my face kind of framed and nice and ready to go, I see where my brows are, I see what I can do. I then go in with my tinted moisturizer. Every day, on an everyday basis, I use a tinted moisturizer. Unless, of course, it's like a special occasion or I'm going out to a nice dinner or something like that. But even on days where I'm just like filming and running around the house working, just trying to get myself ready to shoot content, I usually always use a tinted moisturizer, you guys, because I've gotten really good at like building them up and making them look like foundation without like layering it on or caking it on. It's just really like the way I use makeup products. I have been loving the Summer Fridays Sheer Skin Tint. Like, I'm actually super obsessed with this skin tint. It's honestly one of my favorites. And the way that I like to apply it is I always apply it to the back of my hand after shaking it. Like, I shake it quite a generous amount, and then I grab a foundation brush and I kind of just like to stipple it on my face. And I like to build from the outside in. Like, you will never see me starting to apply makeup at my T-zone. Once I learned the trick of building from the outside in, that was also what took my makeup from lasting me 3 hours and then getting cakey to 8+ hours and never looking cakey. You do not want to apply your foundation, especially if you're oily, to the places where, one, you know you're gonna layer the most, and two, where you know you're gonna get the oiliest. And because I get oily in my T-zone, you want to put as little of product there as you possibly can. You want to apply the heaviest of coverage or the heaviest of the product wherever your skin is like the most normal, which for me is on the outside areas. And also this is where I get like the most discoloration and the most hyperpigmentation just from acne and marks and scars. So if you want a lot of coverage in a certain place, start there. But also be mindful of your skin type, be mindful of where your makeup tends to gather. Like for me, like I said, guys, it's in my T-zone, so I just build product there, but I never apply product straight there unless it's my concealer. And that's, I would say, reason number 3 why you don't want to apply product there necessarily, because you are already going to apply concealer there. So layer after layer after layer, at some point, guys, it is going to get cakey. So you want to make it as thin as possible where you're going to build as much as possible. And because I don't really put anything here on the outer edges other than setting powder, that's why I really work product here. And I like to go in with a brush first because this ensures that I'm like applying it and then going in with the damp beauty sponge. This absorbs any of the excess product again to prevent caking. Cream bronzer, cream product. You guys are gonna see a lot of cream product. And I have been pretty obsessed with the Tarte Sculpt Tape. This is in the shade Warm Bronze. I've been loving this to bronze up my face. I don't use a ton of it just because it is pretty heavily pigmented. Even right now, it kind of looks like a lot, but I promise you, it almost shears down to basically nothing, just because it's one of those products that blends out like a dream. And again, I just grab whatever brush I have on hand, and I like to blend it out with the brush first because this gives me like the power to precisely place it wherever I want. But then to make sure that again, everything is nice, airbrushed and blended, I go in with the beauty sponge and I just melt everything together. It almost like shears out like an oil. I don't know how to explain it. It's literally like one of my favorite products though. Pretty sure I found this at Ulta and it's a dream. And then what I also love to do with this, I love to pop this onto my eyes, like just literally a little dot like that. And I will use this as basically like the base for my eyeshadow. And again, you guys, it just blends out so easily. I know the bronze looks crazy right now, but just trust me, we're not nearly done. And this is always how it's gonna look before it's finished. A little crazy. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off my eyes. My eyes have been super simple these days, guys. I have been loving these Catrice Aloe Vera eyeshadow sticks. This is my favorite shade. This is in the shade Touch of Rose. And I just apply it to my eyes like that. I apply it quite a bit and I blend it out with my finger. Eyeliner. Eyeliner has been pretty consistently just pencil eyeliner. I don't do liquid eyeliner as much anymore, and I don't really do like as dramatic of a wing. I always do like a smoky brown or like a reddish brown. Honestly, I very rarely even do black, but I have been loving the CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus eyeliners. I use caramel, I've used espresso. I think I just kind of oscillate in between those two. I'm gonna use caramel today, but I just like to add a little something to my lashes. I don't like to do something too dramatic, and I just love a more natural look. And then I don't tug at my skin, but I will kind of just like flatten out my eyelid, and I sloppily will line my top lashes. So there's like really no pressure to get like a perfectly straight line, because at the end of the day, we're gonna smoke it out anyways. I just try to apply as much as I can. And like you can see, that already looks so much better than on this end. Like my lashes look a little bit more full, and there's just something happening to the eye and you don't know what it is, but it's there and it's giving. And then I like to grab a little baby like smudging brush like this, and then I just kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but like I blend the eyeshadow so that it's not like a harsh line. It just kind of looks more smoky, and I don't really do much. I really just kind of do it at the tail end too. That's basically it for my eyeliner, guys. It's never anything like too crazy, but it does something, just opens up the eye, and honestly, like I love. Now I'm gonna move on to concealer. This is one of my favorite steps in makeup period, because I love concealer so much. It's literally like the eraser of makeup. If you've ever made a mistake during your makeup or you want to literally erase something from your face, concealer. And I don't like to do too much right out the gate. I like to do a little bit. So I really just focus it like right here in my inner corner, and then out here, and I always lift up because I feel like that just brightens my face, and then right down my nose. I do like a little Y on my forehead because I like it to be bright up there, and I like my whole face to be balanced. And then I'll do some under the bronzer because I feel like that cleans it up. And then I go in with my beauty sponge. And at this point, it starts getting a little on the dry side. Then you just hit it up with whatever mist or spray you got. And then I'll go in and blend everything out. I feel like I also move from like down here up because I like the most coverage obviously to be under my eyes. And I feel like the more you wait and let the concealer not dry down there, but kind of dry up, then the coverage is better. So I always like to wait until I go under the eyes. And by the way, you guys, I know that I already did a whole TikTok dedicated to this concealer because I'm obsessed with this concealer and I'm literally like always reviewing and talking about makeup on my TikTok. But the Forever Skin Correct by Dior is seriously the best concealer I've used in such a long time. So perfect. I've never been more in love with the concealer in my life. Obsessed with it. And then from here, I like to go in with a pressed powder first, just to prevent creasing. I really love this one from Wet n Wild. And this powder really is like so good. And then I'll go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. And I'll go in with the same sponge. I love this powder so much because it has like a yellow tint and it's so brightening. I will bake with this powder and I will focus the most powder around my nose because that's where I get the oiliest. And also, I feel like this helps with contouring my nose, which I don't really like to do. I don't have anything against nose contouring. I just don't like to take the time to do it. So this is just my super easy way of kind of doing it. And I definitely put it on my chin and on my forehead because I get pretty oily there. So I like to press the product in as much as I can. And then from here, I grab whatever is on the cap, the excess that is on the cap, because that's usually the perfect amount. And then I will wipe off the bake from the bottom and I'll blend it up to where like the bronzer is. And then I'll blend away the forehead bake. I'm gonna grab this brush from Lunar Beauty and this palette, again by Lunar Beauty, which is the only contour palette you guys are gonna need. I'm so obsessed with this palette. This is the Lunar Beauty Outer Dimension Face Palette. It has highlighting palettes and contour / bronzing palettes. These two are customizer shades. So if you wanna make any of these lighter, you can, or if you wanna make any of these darker, you can by using Dark Sky or White Sky. I love Bronze Sky. Like Bronze Sky is one of my favorite tones. And I mix it a little bit with Tan Sky. And it gives me the perfect like bronzery shade. And it just warms up my cheekbones. And it helps kind of just blend everything and meld everything together. I do have a Lunar Beauty code if you guys are interested in getting this. This is the only contour palette you'll ever need in your life. And I've had this for almost 2 years now and I have not put a dent in it. And I use it quite a bit. But we're not done with the bronzer yet because I don't like to leave my under eyes bare. So I like to use the same bronzer that I use around my face as my eyeshadow underneath. That's what I'm gonna do. And I don't like to put a lot. I just use a little tiny bit because again, I just feel like it adds something without doing too much. And that way I don't feel like it's like completely bare under there. Now to meld all the powders together, I'm gonna grab a setting spray. I'm gonna use the Tom Ford one. This is a Tom Ford Hyaluronic Energizing Mist, but I'm gonna use the one size on my T-zone. Again, to keep that place a little less oily. And because we're pretty much done with powders and I want to let that setting spray like really get in there, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brow gel. Brow gel can be extra, but it's a step that I really can't skip. I use the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. This is my favorite part. This is, I feel like, the step that takes me the longest because one, I thoroughly enjoy it, and two, I want this part of my makeup to always look perfect because I am a blush slore. And this spring, I have been obsessed with the Makeup by Mario blush in Pale Petal. It is so perfect. I can't even begin to explain to you like how perfect this blush is. And here's how I like to apply it so that I never over apply it and that it never lifts my makeup underneath. One is I do dampen my face and you guys saw me do that. But then I like to grab any angled brush. And this is probably my favorite blush brush. This is from Believe Beauty. It's $5 at Dollar General. And I stipple the product and I basically just warm it up in the back of my hand. And then when I see that it's kind of like shearing out and I know the product is kind of warm enough, I start basically at my hairline and I just pounce the blush on, always moving up and down my cheekbone because I don't like the look of knowing where my blush started. I want my blush to look as natural as possible. So I always blend it up to the hairline, blend it into my bronzer, but like continuously blend it up this way. That also lifts the face and also just makes your blush look so beautifully draped. And then I continuously bring it into the apples of my cheekbones, but I never start at the apples of my cheekbones. I feel like that's a mistake a lot of people make, and that gives them like Cabbage Patch Kid face, which we don't want. Like, look at that difference. Like, this makes me so happy. Like, seeing my face blushed up like this makes me the happiest. And then with whatever is excess on my hand, this might be a little bit too much for you guys, but I will apply a little bit to my nose because I love that like sun-kissed blushy look on the nose. And then I'll hit my temples up. I literally just like drape my blush. I make a little C until I basically have no more blush. For highlight, I have been obsessed with this highlight. This Maybelline strobing stick has been in my collection for a little under 8 years. And I'm so obsessed with it, haven't even put a dent in it. And I always grab it with the tip of the blush brush because I don't like a harsh streak of highlight. And then I just put it literally everywhere I put blush. It adds a little something. Then I will go in with my finger and hit up my Cupid's bow with it. And then whatever's excess, I'll like dab on my nose. And then I'll grab like a thin eyeshadow brush and I'll put this into my inner corners. Mascara. I have been obsessed with the Kylie Kylash, like truly obsessed. It's probably my favorite mascara of the moment and like of my collection. Like, I love this mascara so much. However, I do have to be super close to the mirror, so give me a second. And that is why this mascara has been my favorite. Like, look at those lashes. It feels like I'm wearing like a strip lash. I promise you I'm not. It's just that mascara. It's that good. Now we can move on to lips. Lips, I feel like, is one of those things that changes but doesn't. It's always a nude pink lip, and it's always glossy. So I have been loving this combination from Dominique Cosmetics and Lunar Beauty. So I use the Dominique Cosmetics lip liner in Brown Sugar. One of my favorite lip liner formulas / colors ever. I cannot not line my lips. Like, I don't care if I'm in the biggest hurry of my life. You will not catch me not lining my lips ever. Ever. And I do overline on one side. Believe it's on this side. I try to overline because this side's a lot thicker than this side. I feel like I have to like match it and try to make my lips look as even as possible, even though they're not. By the way, I do have a code also with Dominique Cosmetics. And then this is one of my tried and true favorite liquid lipsticks in the planet, you guys. Perfection. Liquid lipstick by Lunar Beauty. But when I tell you I'm obsessed, like, I'm obsessed. The most perfect pink nude possibly on the planet. And I don't like to use too much. I do a thin layer and I like to like just blend it out with my lips. Like, do you see how perfect that lip color is? And you guys could very easily stop here if you'd like, but I'm a gloss girl. Is a gloss girl. Like, it really has to be a special occasion for me to want my lips to look matte. I always use a gloss, and I have been obsessed with the Yummy CoverGirl glosses, especially in the shade Coconuts About You, and this is currently Coconuts About You. So I'm going to apply this, and I always apply this like in the center of my lips, and then on top I like to kind of just like, instead of windshield wiper motion, I always take it up like this. I feel like it just gives you a more pouty look when you do that. And that's basically the makeup look. I'm always obsessed with my makeup when I like really sit down and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and set all this down. Now it's time for the rollers to come out because trust me, they have more than cooled down. Look at that volume. Do you see that? Just wait for the bangs. I know. I will say, I love how my hair has trained itself so well to keep its like middle part, so I don't really have to like fuss with it. And then from here, I just kind of brush it out with my fingers as much as I can. I try to get the bangs under control. I like how I was like, I'm gonna do my everyday hair, my everyday skincare, my everyday makeup look, but you guys are also gonna get such an everyday outfit out of me because 95% of the time you catch me out, I'm gonna be wearing a crew neck. Like, I just am. I'm a crew neck kind of girly. I'm wearing this one. This is my Capricorn one, actually. It's from Miss Lola. I'm also wearing leggings, and I'm wearing like higher socks so that my shins stay warm. But yeah, this is usually what I do, guys. I grab my Jisoo oil I put it into my hands, I rub it all around, and then I just kind of finagle my hair and I finger comb it. We are done. I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look, this makeup tutorial, which is probably one of the first makeup tutorials I've done in literal years, you guys. I haven't done this in such a long time, but honestly it was really nice to kind of tell you guys like all my tips, all my tricks, and show you my favorite products that I've been loving. All the products are going to be linked down below. And if you don't find them there, you'll find them linked in my haul. They're gonna be linked there so you guys can go check them out, shop them, find the best deals for them. Honestly, they're so worth it, each and every one of them. Like I love all of these products so much. I know I already disclaimed that in the beginning. It was so awesome manifesting Vogue with you guys. And yeah, comment down below what other videos you guys want to see. I would love to hear video ideas from you guys. That's one task I'm going to really leave in your hands, especially for the coming summer months. I'm not running out of ideas. I would just really love to hear from you guys, your input on how I can better create content for you. But other than that, I'm gonna get going. Love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.